Do you remember the former European Parliament candidate in Finland who heckled Ursula von der Leyen and was arrested for it? His case is still not through in the courts, but now Finland's largest newspaper is smearing Armando Mema as a Russian stooge and part of the Kremlin's hybrid warfare. Here to discuss his case with me is for the second time Armando Mema. Armando, welcome back.
Hi, Pascal. Thank you for having me back on your YouTube channel.
Well, thank you for letting me know about what's happening to you, because this is kind of the first time now that such a large newspaper is trying very hard to smear you. Can you maybe tell us first what's the current situation? What happened in this public media space to you?
Yes, sure. Out of nowhere and without any approach by any journalist from the biggest media in the country, in Finland, Yle News made an article with a very serious accusation about myself, saying that I am part of the Russian propaganda system, and basically they have accused me of waging a hybrid war against Finland and Europe. So this is a very strong accusation, which I reject. The thing is, it's very much related, I think, to the fact of the protest of Ursula von der Leyen case in Helsinki. So the weird thing is that no journalist made any approach to me and made no questions at all. So they threw this article in the biggest media of the country to attack my reputation. I just had yesterday an interview with Helsinki Sanomat, which is also a big newspaper in Helsinki, and we were discussing the thing with the journalist, and he said how weird and strange that the biggest media in the country made such an article with such serious accusation against me.
Yeah, and at the same time, your case, I mean, you became kind of a sensation on social media because that clip of you when you were dragged away from like protesting Ursula von der Leyen, while she said you should be happy to live in a free country because in Russia you would be arrested, while you were being arrested and dragged away, and there's still a discussion in the court whether you will be getting a fine or not, or whether you will be actually getting your money back, which you already paid. Can you tell me a little bit whether the newspaper article actually discussed that and actually gave the information that this case is still ongoing?
Absolutely no. They completely censored the fact of the protest and the fact that I've been protesting against Ursula von der Leyen. So the thing is, they're trying to again protect the image of the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in all possible ways and all possible means. So this is a clear. They're using the media against me. And also wherever possible to protect the image of the European president and to kind of preserve the image of the European Union as a democratic institution. So the thing is, it's very serious because now they are from creating charges against me for peacefully protesting. Now this is a very serious escalation because they don't. First of all, they don't have any proof of that kind, because I have been willing by myself, since the media in the country, they did not give me any space at all, and still the incident of last year has not been published in the media fully. So that they have covered it as a very hot topic, and as you can see, this is a very serious escalation from having charges for public disobedience to waging hybrid war. So
The accusation, yeah, the
it
accusation just grew, but the case of accusing you of hybrid warfare, is that one journalist with his or her name on that article, or is it the entire newspaper that stands behind this? Who wrote that piece about you?
So one journalist, he wrote because they have to write the name of the journalist who reported, but the thing is, more even, you can clearly see that this is a deep state article made, because they have called experts from University of Vasa, which they are also backing the idea. So there is this lady, this expert from University of Vasa, that she claimed that, oh yes, Mema is waging a hybrid war against NATO and all this nonsense stuff. So this clearly is because now Finland is part of NATO, and there is a systematic control of the narrative. So they have to silence any voice that has a different opinion. So this, again, you can see that there is a clear interference on the democratic system of our society. Like, not only we are not having free speech of in the most important moment of our democracy, which are the European elections, but we are also not having free speech of having our basic opinions. So it seems that if you have different opinions, or if you are not aligned with the mainstream narrative that they're trying to sell you, you become an enemy. So this shouldn't be happening in a free and democratic society. Anyone should be free to have his opinion, and I should be able to give interviews all over the world without the biggest media in the country accusing me of waging hybrid warfare.
The thing is, the people who oppose your views and largely my views that, we need peace with Russia and that this proxy war needs to end as soon as possible. I mean, the people who oppose this, they have two strategies of explaining away people like you and I. The first strategy is to say they are paid propagandists by the Kremlin. So we are directly working with the man in the Kremlin, and we're getting a paycheck through whatever means. That's the first one. The second one is to call us useful idiots, to call us, these people are so dumb, they don't understand that they are serving the man in the Kremlin, maybe even for free. They are useful idiots. It's usually one of the two. Which one of the two does the newspaper accuse you of?
So the news, according to the newspaper, should be the first one, that I'm directly involved with the government of Russia, and this is a very serious accusation because they don't have any proof of it. They should provide the concrete evidence. Like, you can't uh, claim that anyone who has a different opinion. So this is a very clear strategy of polarization of the free discussion, free debate. Is not happening only here, but it happened to one of the biggest experts of geopolitics in Italy, Jeffrey. Is from America, but in when he went for an interview in Italy, he was directly attacked on the national television of being labeled as spreading Russian propaganda, and it was from one of his small politician, Carlo Calenda of Italy, and they made, if you notice, they made such a big mediatic news that how Calenda accused Jeffrey Sachs for telling the facts, for telling the historical truth of how the conflict started in Ukraine and what was his opinion on the matter. So if they can do this with some of the major experts who have studied and have done university, and they have worked, he has worked with the US government, and is a very respected person. Imagine they can do it with anyone else. So, and this is the case with me also, that they are using the same system.
Yes, yes, that's true. The only thing we've got to be careful with is the word they, because they can refer to a abstract group of people, you know, that just share the same belief. So if that journalist shares the same belief with Ursula von der Leyen, who shares the same belief with a lot of parliamentarians who share the same belief with some people in the court that are now dealing with you, then we just have an epistemic group, right? That just cooperates because they have the same mindset. But if they refers actually to, as you said, the deep state, in the sense that this is a coordinated attack, then we are on a different level of social escalation, I would say. And
Yes.
you, at the moment, you seem to believe it's the second one. There is a coordinated attack going on.
Yes, and to add things more, when I was coming back from on the same day that the article was published, I was walking back with my daughter back home, and there was a car, a Chrysler, with two people inside the car and running up and down next to my house, which was a very unusual activity, and they had a quote at the back of the car, like swearing at Putin, and it was like a psychological message that we are watching you, and it came the same day of the article was published. So it was from my point of view, clear intimidation that not only we are attacking you on your public image, but we are attacking you also on your private life. So this was clear intimidation that they're trying in all possible ways to silence me, and they don't want me to speak up about having my free opinion. So this it's a very very gangster way of doing things, like.
Well, the intimidation of non-conformists in the European Union is definitely increasing. We also have a case in Latvia where a Latvian student who organized student groups online is now being arrested. Tatiana, I forgot her last name, and this is of course or is it Estonia? No, sorry, it's Estonia, in Estonia, and so this is in the Baltic states where repression against non-conformists is increasing, and obviously judicial means are being deployed. Finland, who for the longest time was a neutral country in the Cold War, you're saying we are also now seeing this increase of pressure against non-conformists, whether that's coordinated or not, but the pressure is increasing, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's the way how, because now Finland, it's de facto a satellite country of the United States, and there is not much space left in the foreign politics anymore. Like same like in Italy, the foreign politics has to be influenced by the major power. So um, this affects all level of society. It's a structured method, because we talk very often about Russian propaganda and the other countries' propaganda, but we never talk about the NATO propaganda system. So um, also yesterday, the journalist from Helsinki Sanomat, he was very surprised when I was telling him, but are you aware that we also have a NATO propaganda in Europe? And he was like, well, actually, it makes sense. I said that we also have, and it is very bad for the freedom, human rights, and democracy, because um, while they're trying to control the narrative here, distort the historical facts so they can continue the support for the Ukrainian war. There is the majority of the real world out there, like the BRICS countries, the emerging countries, uh, China, India, and so on, so that they see history as it is, and they are not part of the propaganda which is spread in the NATO country, and they can clearly see our double standards in terms of uh, mm, what is happening in Ukraine. And we can continue to tell ourselves that we have the so-called democratic values, but like what is happening to me and to other people around Europe who simply have a different opinion on certain issue. And I've not you know said anything that is such a big scandal. I have just said that, in my opinion, there cannot be a military solution for the conflict in Ukraine. That, in my view, there should be a diplomatic solution. There is an expansion of NATO toward east, and I said that, in my opinion, there shouldn't be a NATO membership in Ukraine. So
Mhm.
these are the main things that NATO is actually pushing for by all means. So uh, uh, they're not allowing also having free debate on this, and the rest of the world clearly see that there has been a expansion of NATO, and they don't think like us. So it's kind of absurd that a short minority of the rest of the population has to decide how the world should be, multipolar or unipolar, and how the security structure of the world should be. So we have to get out from that mindset and try to collaborate with the rest of the world.
I couldn't agree more, but one of the phenomenons that we are seeing at the moment in European and American uh, public space or media space is that our large media houses seem to be extremely pissed that they're losing the sovereignty of interpretation, the Deutungshoheit, as we call it in German, of like telling people how to interpret stuff, of what is going on. That's why
Yes.
you and I are being accused of spreading Russian propaganda, or even better, Russian talking points. It's such a
Yes.
beautiful thing because it doesn't say Russian lies. It just says talking points. Talking points can be completely correct, but they don't want that spread. Now,
Yes.
are you you're being accused of actually using appearing on Russian media, right? Especially RT.
Yes. Yes.
Is that the main sin that you committed according to these people?
Yes, yes. So the media, after censoring me for over a year on the case of Ursula von der Leyen, they silenced me completely on the media in Finland, and instead of focusing on their sins, they are saying that I've committed a sin by appearing and by expressing my free opinions on the Russian television. So. Uh, you see, also here we have double standards, because while at home I'm being censored and I'm not allowed to express my opinion on the media here. They say, oh, why are you appearing on the media outside Finland? You shouldn't be doing that. And excuse me, like, I am allowed to I said this is the basic of the free democracy, that I'm allowed to give interview wherever and express my opinions in all possible ways. So this is the basic essence of democracy.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that usually the people who attack us, then they say like, "Oh, useful idiot," right? He doesn't understand that Russia today is using him for their propaganda. He's a dumb idiot. But in your case, they go further, right? They're saying, "No, no, no, no. You have not only you have an agenda, but you're selling yourself out. It's no, it's one level below accusing you of treason." Right?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
why are they accusing you of like financial ties to Russia? Does the article give any indications?
Because the it's not the idea itself of having interviews outside Finland, but it's the risk. The major threat, in my opinion, is that being a politician and my views being so widely accepted or respected in one of the biggest country in the world, which is Russia, is a superpower. And so the fact that my opinions are so respected and so widely accepted in Russia, it poses a democracy threat directly to von der Leyen and to the establishment here, because they see me as a potential candidate who can replace them at the next election. So this is the major threat to them.
Are they also worried that actually they're losing their sovereignty of interpretation, because if we look at the escalation ladder, first they ignore you, then they fight you, and then you win. On that escalation ladder, you're now on the second step, right? So in a sense, is this
Yes.
an indicator that also in Finland, what you're saying is not as outlandish anymore as it was 3 years ago?
Yes, exactly. So they are like spiders who are trying to attach on the mirrors. So they are losing control of the uh, fake narrative that the NATO propaganda system is trying to sell to the public opinion. So because uh, people can think freely, so they cannot have total control on the public opinion. They are losing. So he made a very good point. They are losing the control of the narrative, but this is inevitable because people are free spirit. They have a free nature. So you can try to imprison, you can try to silence, you can try to do all the possible things to a person, but the human spirit is free, and there is nothing they can do about it. So the people gonna realize what the historical facts are. They're gonna think how we are behaving on our approach on the war in Ukraine. And I don't think, honestly, people want to end up in a direct war against Russia. So this is also very dangerous in the sense that we might end up in a direct confrontation, uh, cutting all ties and constantly making accusation of waging war against Europe. These are all things that certainly do not benefit peace in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely not. But in the grand scheme of things, attacking you publicly on such a large newspaper actually carries quite a bit of risk for these people because of the so-called Streisand effect, where when you trash talk somebody or you try to demolish their reputation, actually what this leads to is just more public visibility of that person, and therefore then your followers or the people who now know about you increasing, the ones who don't like you, but also the ones who do like you. Are you having any kind of what's the outcome of this? Did people reach out to you? Are you overall
Yes.
damaged by this affair, or is it even helping you to
Yes,
now
yes.
reach out?
I'm receiving constantly attacks from private message on social media from people, Because they think that somehow I am part of the accusation they are claiming. So, but I've also received a lot of solidarity from other people. So, like other people, they are seeing what's happening, and they are understanding it as a complete nonsense. That they're saying you have not won any seat in the parliament or in the Europe Parliament, and you are still a normal person. So how the biggest media try to attack your reputation without giving you any possibility to reply and to say your view. So they're only expressing their view. So both things are happening. I'm receiving a lot of hate comments online, but at the same time people are realizing that like something in this story, it doesn't make they are puzzled by the fact that first they detain me during the European election campaign, and now the biggest media, without any journalists asking questions, they're attacking me. So there are pro and, and like the both of the things.
I guess it just shows the danger of what can happen to people who dare to stretch their head out of the window, right, of the driving car. Because yeah, it's true. I mean, you're not an office holder, so when people call you a politician, you're a politician in the sense that you participate in the political process, but you're not having any office. Do you think that these attacks will overall increase, and are you seeing them also being levied against other people?
Yes, absolutely. I see other people in Finland who uh, are geopolitical analysts or university professors, that they are constantly being attacked for expressing their opinions. So this is a systematic attack on any intellectual and any freedom of expression. So it's not just me that he's trying to bring a positive change in society and work for peace, but is also for uh, university teachers, students. There was the moment during the protest. There were the university students protesting for Gaza in Helsinki, and von der Leyen from with the microphone, she will tell them, these are Putin's friend. And so what is the sense of all this? That also the students and everyone else who does not agree with von der Leyen and with the European Union should be labeled automatically as a Putin friend. I think the EU leadership, they know very well that blaming Putin for all the problems is a very useful card. So they keep repeating it all over and over again. Who needs a opposition party when you can blame Russia for the problems in Europe? So this is what's happening at all levels.
I mean, we must understand, in the mind of Ursula von der Leyen, an opposition party is a party that disagrees with how much weapons should be sent to Ukraine, right? When you have an opposition of, should we do 50 missiles or should we do 70 or 80? That's their idea of opposition. You are so far away that in their mindset, you must be paid by Putin.
Yes, exactly, and it's very dangerous because Europe is rearming itself at the speed rate, and eventually, I think the neighbor Russia's start to see us more and more of a threat. So from propaganda of lies from the European Union, we may actually end up in a direct confrontation. And that's, I think, what people should understand, that unless they are allowed to express freely their thoughts, we may eventually end up in this conflict, and we must really fight back with peaceful means, as I am doing, because I've been protesting peacefully and only expressing my views and my opinions has been considered as a threat. I will continue to do it no matter the intimidations. I have a clear vision for how Europe should focus on peace, and everyone working for peace can be useful in this process. So as I am being as a normal person, I am challenging the narrative, and I am uh, being an obstacle to warmongers who wants to control the narrative, and they want to continue sending weapons without justifying why we should continue a proxy war, why we should continue escalating this conflict when we can resolve this through political means.
Absolutely. We have to remain relentlessly peaceful in this approach, but also relentlessly vocal, relentlessly noisy. And I thank you very much, Armando, for actually, holding up the flag of peace and reconciliation over there in Finland. And I do hope that these attacks will subside. We will, of course, do again an update with you. People who want to follow you, where should they go?
I started a Telegram channel. I can send you the link after. You can follow me on YouTube and on X as well, on former Twitter. I've noticed some of my Twitters are starting to get censored now. And one last update, sorry. The journalist who reported my case of arrest during European election got her Twitter account banned from Twitter. So this is again Tina Keskimaki, who came with me at the court case to interview me that day, got her Twitter account banned. So this only add up to the fact that they're going to silence anyone who is involved with my case. So it's absolutely crazy.
Scary times in the free world. Armando, Mema, the links will be in the description box below. Armando, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Bye.